What's up, guys? Rob from LegitBrowniesGaming here, bringing you an episode of Vintage Style Commentary. Not really an episode, it's just a TF2 commentary, and just a warning, I suck at this game, much like everything else I do in life. However, that's not the topic of this video. Today we're going to be talking about hobbies, and I've been watching a lot of the older content that I put up on this channel. And one of the videos I put up a long time ago when I still used to record my TV with a little camera was a commentary about hobbies. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about hobbies. A long waiting time. We're going to talk about hobbies today. And I was interested to see just how much my hobbies had both changed and remained the same from back then. And we're just gonna basically go through it now, kind of compare and contrast. So back then, the hobbies that I listed video games, obviously. I also listed watching sports. I talked about how I used to paint and mod Nerf guns with my cousin, and I think that was pretty much it. So obviously video games still a huge part of my life. I don't really know, I couldn't even imagine where I'd be without video games at this point. I mean, it's just a huge part of my life. I play video games all the time. I play video games with my friends. You know, we've had so many awesome times playing these random games, and you know, just getting to this channel, you know, has just been something that's been a part of my life that I really have enjoyed just doing. I love making videos, you know. It's just something that I feel like it's a way that I can just kind of talk to people and interact with people that I would never have had the chance to interact with regularly, you know. I never would have imagined that at some point in my life I would make a piece of content that 200 people in Brazil would even see, you know. It's crazy to think that that's a thing that's happened. I've made a video that people in Brazil and people in, you know, Germany have seen, people in the United Kingdom, across the world, you know. So I think that's, you know, video games, huge part of my life, still are, and I have to say that they probably always will be. But so that's stayed the same, still a huge game player. The games I play have changed a bit since then. I don't play as much Call of Duty anymore, although I would like to, but you know, I've got to save up and get an Xbox One at some point, so that's on the list of things to do for sure. So talking about other things, sports still a huge part of my life, and even more so now than back then, I would say, because back then I talked about just watching sports, and since then I've actually started playing the sport that I love, which is hockey. I've been playing hockey for about 3-4 years now. I don't play ice hockey, unfortunately. Don't have the skates or the money for that, but you know, I play deck hockey and I love it. You know, I have a blast playing hockey. It's one of my, probably the favorite thing I do in my life right now is just getting to play hockey. So definitely a huge part, and even more so I would say than it used to be. Still watch hockey religiously. Still an Islanders fan, of course. Oh gosh. So it's always fun. Nerf guns I don't do anymore. I haven't painted or modded Nerf guns in a while. That's kind of died out. So that's something that I've dropped. Just didn't find it as fun anymore, you know. And it was also kind of an expensive hobby at the time. So don't do that anymore. But, you know. That's kind of, I guess, to be expected. I kind of grew out of that, but it was fun. You know, I don't regret doing any of it or anything like that. It was good fun. But you know, what else do I do now that I didn't do back then? I mean, obviously I play hockey now. I play on 2 teams, so it's a big part of my life. You know, I still watch hockey religiously, but now I think, you know, a couple of things have really changed since then as far as my hobbies are concerned. Um, you know, one other thing I brought up that I used to do is study history, and specifically like U.S. military history and whatnot. And I still do that as well. I still have a lot of biographies, and just some such books about that kind of thing. You know. Oh gosh, the lag. Whoa. I recently read a book about the Battle of Gettysburg, and I actually have a Let's Play that I'm planning to do involving the Civil War, which you guys will soon see. Hopefully, I'm gonna finish up LA Noire first because that series has been long, oh gosh, long overdue to finish up. But you know, I'm glad that I've been able to continue doing this channel, and even kind of expanding it to where I can do live streams and whatnot now, which I'm planning on doing once again very soon. So, you know, I'm glad that I've kept up this channel. There was a while where I couldn't record because I didn't have a camera anymore, and I didn't really have any way to record games. But since then, you know, I've been able to record several series using OBS, and you know, I have my Elgato game capture that I can use to record, and I think it's important. Oh, another big one, obviously. I've started watching anime and reading manga, which is something that I never used to do almost at all. My only experience with anime was the Yu-Gi-Oh animes, which, to be fair, I did watch a fair bit when I was a kid. I watched Yu-Gi-Oh GX from start to finish. I watched the original Yu-Gi-Oh series from start to finish, including Battle City and all that. But I've recently started watching like regular Japanese anime and reading manga and whatnot. And to this point, I've read a fair bit now. And it's something that's really cool, you know? Like, I get it. There's a social, you know, there's a stigma for some reason associated with watching anime. Like, you're a weeaboo, you fedora neckbeard. But that's not the case, obviously. I mean, I don't own neither a fedora nor I don't have a fedora or a neckbeard. So, yeah, and I'm not a shut-in either. But I've watched a ton. Well, not a ton. Okay, I won't say I watch a ton, but you know, I have been keeping kind of a list to make sure that I know and remember, like, in case I need to reference, you know, if I've seen something or not. But you know, the first one I actually watched, you know, if we don't count the Pokemon. Oh, I also watched Pokemon as a kid. If we don't count the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh animes as far as like counting towards my list of stuff that I've seen, the first regular anime that I saw was actually Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works by Ufotable, or not Ufotable, Type Moon. And both of those shows are just phenomenal shows. I thoroughly enjoyed both of them. Highly recommend it if you're looking for an anime to watch. Shout out to my friend, my boy Tim, that you've seen on the Extra Life live streams, for actually getting me into anime, because I'd always kind of wanted to do it, but I never really knew where to start. So he gave me a big list of like, here's some pretty good shows that you could start watching. So there's that, and then I've branched out since then. I've watched a bunch of different kinds, anywhere from like you know, ecchi harem kind of shows like Monster Musume to, you know, sci-fi like mind fuck like Steins Gate that I've seen, which again, you know, great show, to, you know, science fiction like um, Sword Art Online, which yes, I watched the whole thing through, start to finish, all the seasons and the movie, because I kind of wanted to see why people shit on it so much, and I could give my opinions on it if you guys wanted. If you wanted me to talk about that kind of stuff, could do some anime related videos. I wouldn't mind doing that at all. But I'm gonna do another game because I still have a lot to talk about. But yeah, so that's something that's I think has been like a really big hobby of mine lately. Currently, I'm watching Konosuba to catch up on it so that I can watch the next season that's coming out, or is out. It's out right now, actually. Or I don't know. It depends on when you guys see this video. I might upload these out of order, quote unquote, even though there's no order to this at all. So, who knows? But, you know, I think it's important that no matter what your hobby is, okay, well, actually, if your hobby is one that's not hurting someone else, and it's not directly detrimental to yourself, then you should be proud of whatever your hobby is. And you know, I say that because, you know, if your hobby is like beating the shit out of people, then no, don't do that. Bad, you know. Don't go out and murder people. But you know, if your hobby is something like watching anime or reading manga or drawing OC or, you know, whatever you really want to do, what have you about it, as long as you're not like hurting yourself in the process, like you're not just like a shut-in that's like, you know, only does this one thing and, you know, just like dumps on other people for their own creations and their own hobbies, then that's fine. You know, do what you gotta do. Do whatever you want, you know. Who cares? Like, there's a big stigma around watching anime for some reason. And I don't really know why. Okay, well, I kind of get why, because there's a stereotype associated that, like, if you watch anime, you're like a shut-in neckbeard fedora wearing, like, milady who, like, can't get an actual woman, who's, like, obsessed with waifus and husbandos, blah, 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 right? But, I mean, you know, I would venture to wager that that's far less often the case than it is the case. And you shouldn't, you know, dump on people for their hobby because of a stereotype associated with it, you know? Like, that's just not cool. Because, you know, oh, because like 3 people are like super cringy neckbeard, damn, are like super cringe neckbeard fedoras, you know, because of those 3 people, now everybody that does that thing has to be super cringe neckbeard fedoras. And like, even just like, you know, seemingly normal things that people would do, like, you know, making OC or drawing your own characters or being an artist, you know, oh, that guy, you know, is super full of himself just because he's an artist, or he or she thinks that, you know, they're so much better than everyone else because they can draw. And it's like, you know, why you gotta be like that, you know? Just let people enjoy what they want to enjoy, man. Who cares? Like I said, as long as your hobby isn't directly like hurting somebody, and as long as your hobby's not like, I like killing people, and then it's like, okay, don't do that. You'll be able to do whatever you want. Like, back in the day when I uploaded that, you know, hobby commentary. One of the comments on it was like, LOL, you know, this kid's like such a loser. He got camo painted toy guns. And it's like, what do you care, man? Like, I enjoyed painting Nerf guns as a kid, so, you know, what's the big deal? Something I did for fun. I wasn't out doing drugs or like, you know, blowing up school buildings, and it's... Yeah, it's fine. I'll switch teams to violence team, I don't care. And it's like, you know, just don't, you know, don't judge before you really know. You know, if somebody is like that, you know, if somebody happens to be like a super shut-in, like, you know, neckbeard Fedora-chan, and I keep referencing that stereotype just because I think it's the most popular one, but you know, if that's the case, then you know what, even that's just like whatever, let them be. Let them do what they want to do. So what? If that's their life choice, then whatever. Their life choice isn't directly damaging your, you know, quality of life or anything. Let them do what they gotta do. I guess that's kind of the point, but you know, by the same token, you also shouldn't let your hobby consume your life. You know, like if your hobby is literally the only thing in your life that you ever do, then it becomes kind of an issue. But it's a case by case kind of basis, and you know, it is what it is. There's some stuff, you know, and we're talking about hobbies. Let's talk about some stuff that I haven't done that I would actually enjoy doing. Now, I would love to play ice hockey. That's always been a dream of mine, but I don't really have the money for that, unfortunately. Because ice hockey is crazy expensive. It's like, you know, the equipment isn't cheap, on top of the entry fee being like, you know, for some leagues it's like upwards of like $600 for a season, because you gotta, you know, chip in towards ice time and, you know, renting whatever rink you're playing on. And then on top of that, like, you can get cheap ice hockey equipment, but like more often than not, it's expensive. You know, ice hockey's not a cheap sport. I mean, the sticks can run you anywhere from like, you know, 70 to like $200 a stick, and then even then, that's like you're gonna have to buy multiples because that's gonna break on you at some point. So yeah, it's not cheap, but you know, it is what it is. Maybe one day I'll get on skates and actually learn how to skate and play ice hockey. Gaming as a hobby as well. I would love to see how far I can take this channel. I would love to see, you know, us kind of grow our own community here. We've uploaded like 300 or something videos at this point, so you know, I'm gonna keep doing it, and I guess that's, you know, let me explain kind of like why I do this channel. I've got plenty of time to talk about that. When I was younger, I grew up watching guys like C-Nanners and a Moody Swede, Rysolf, kind of just guys like that just did their own thing, and you know, they had their own like a niche. Now, I was actually watching a lot of C-Nanner's older stuff last night, where he talked about like his first girlfriend and stuff like that, and you know, that was so cool to me that you could just have a community built up around the fact that like you're a dude and you make YouTube videos and you exist. You know, people come and listen to your YouTube videos, they watch your content, they enjoy, they talk to you. You know, through learning a little bit about you, you kind of learn a little bit about them, and you can build a community. And you know, those were like the original kind of guys I grew up watching. C-Nanners, Moody Swede, Brysolf, probably forgetting somebody in there, but you know, I saw that and I was like, I want to do that. I want to make, you know, I want to make YouTube videos. And it wasn't even about the money. Like, it was like, okay, yeah, you can make money off this if you get good enough. But like, originally I just started doing YouTube videos because it was so cool to me. Like the idea that, you know, there's this community that they built up, that people, you know, click on their videos daily. They're looking forward to this video. And the other thing about it was that, you know, watching people's YouTube videos was a great way to just kind of get away from reality. Like, you know, I know I was so stressed as a kid, being in middle school so hard, but it was just like, hey, you know, you come home, you do your homework, and then you don't want to think about school for a while, so you just throw on a commentary and listen to people just talk about their lives and talk about their day, talk about what they did, what they're planning on doing, what they want to do, you know, just cool stuff like that, that, you know, it just really, it just made you feel like you were part of a community. You know, you were part of a group, you know? And like even far beyond like the sense of like belonging you would get from it, it's just, I don't know, it was so cool. And I like the idea of making people happy. That's one thing you know, I love doing. Is I love making people laugh. I love making people smile and feel good about themselves and kind of forget about the stresses of life for a while. So that's, you know, originally why I started doing YouTube, is I just wanted to make people laugh. I wanted to make people smile. I wanted to, you know, give people something entertaining to watch so they could just forget about life for a while and just have fun, you know, watch some dumb kid play Call of Duty and just be completely garbage at it, but, you know, have fun with what he was doing and just enjoying life for a while. So that's why I started, and that's why I've kind of kept up with that. I mean, like I said, we put up over like 300 videos, and, you know, even though at this point the channel's not very big, we have 30 subscribers and we get like 7 views a video, I still love making videos. It's a bit of work, you know, sometimes, but, you know, I'm always thinking like, hey, what if there's that one kid that's like, you know, coming home and he's just like, I don't want to deal with doing homework or doing this and that, so let me just go hop on YouTube. And, you know, if there's somebody that likes my content out there enough to the point where they're making an effort to watch it, you know, even if it's just one person, that's so cool to me, that even one person is out there, that there's even just one person that's like, hey, I really like this guy's, you know, content, it makes me laugh. So that's kind of why I started doing YouTube, and that's kind of why I'm going to continue doing YouTube. It's just so much fun. I honestly do very much enjoy making YouTube content, and that's why I want to get into streaming again too, because with streaming it's direct, you know, people come to your stream and you can talk to them in almost real time. I say almost because of like Twitch delay, but you can talk to them in almost real time, you know? You can have a conversation with somebody across the world. You know, I've talked to people from, you know, I live in New York. I've talked to people from like Texas and California, Georgia, you know. There's, you know, without having done a stream or without having done YouTube, I would never have been able to do that. And that's so cool that I get to have a conversation with somebody across the country. And there are people that watch my YouTube videos, like I said earlier, in like Brazil and like Germany, and it's like the internet is such a crazy place that it allows us to do these things. That allows us to interact with people from across the globe. That like 10 years or so ago, this would never have happened. Not in a million years. Something like this would never have even been possible. You know, it's so cool. And I guess, you know, I'm not really one to be giving out YouTube advice. I'm not a big YouTuber, but I guess what I'm saying is, if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, just go for it. You know, it's a really cool experience. It gives you, not only does it give you something to do, but it gives you experiences you never would have had before. And you can meet a lot of cool people through it, so thank you guys for listening to me just ramble on about hobbies and why I YouTube and all that. If you guys have a topic that you'd like me to discuss on this series, leave it down below in the comments. I'm open to suggestions. I'll take anything into consideration, really. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.